Now, how I use the law of attraction to not just get in shape, but continuously improve my physique and stay in shape for years. I haven't been out of shape for years, is simply by changing that box and that belief system. I was never able to get into the shape that I desired. And I would constantly see other people in shape and I would fixate on their experience of reality. I'd constantly fixate on that person's in shape and I'm not. What happens is we behave and we operate based on the system and in the box that we create in our mind. Now that sounds quite surface level, so let's go a little bit deeper. What we do is we create a box in our mind. So for example, in that situation that I just used, the box in my mind was, I'm out of shape, I get picked on, I can't get in shape, everybody else is in better shape than me. That was the box that I had created, which meant I thought it all of the time, I believed it all of the time, and then it became my reality, which means I behaved like a person. And you may be like this, you may be stuck in a habit that you want to break. And hopefully this is linking to how you can break that habit by using the law of attraction. But what I would always do is I would operate as a person that was out of shape, getting picked on, and didn't like the way they looked. What does somebody do that is in that state? They don't eat the things that a healthy, strong person with a great physique would eat. They don't speak about themselves like a healthy, strong person with a good physique would. And they don't see themselves as a healthy, strong person with a good physique. What that means is that any behavior outside of that box, so for example, if I ever had like a salad, or if I ever had like some good food, some healthy food, or if I ever trained well, it would cause such a friction with my belief system that inevitably later down the line, whether it took a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it took, I would always fall back into my old habits. And the reason why we fall back into our old habits is because we don't utilize the law of attraction. Again, think of it like this. If you're a kind person, you want to be received as a kind person. You want to be received as, a really nice person, but then you're rude. What happens? You have an internal dialogue. Nobody else can see this. You have an internal dialogue with yourself to say, I was rude. I shouldn't have done that. I'm now going to apologize. Why? Because it fixes and it pertains to your belief system. Your belief system is the law of attraction. I hope this is making sense. So then, think about somebody that is rude and isn't conscious of it and is just continuously rude. They don't see themselves as a kind, nice, generous person, which means they can consistently be rude and feel no guilt or shame for it at all because it fits within their belief system. They're operating within their belief system. Now, how does this link to the law of attraction? Well, this links to the law of attraction because we focus on creates our axiom, and our axiom is our belief system. Our belief system is what we focus on. Keep this in mind. Now, the belief is the driver. Now, that box and belief system was, I'm out of shape, I'm not good enough, I'm not confident, people bully me, somebody else has got better physique. That used to be my belief system. But now my belief system is, I'm a healthy person, I'm on the road to have the best physique I possibly can. Other people want to be in the physique that I'm in. So in this box, this is my belief system. Now, notice how none of those beliefs have said, I have a six-pack or I have any of that stuff. Anything outcome-based. It's process-based. And this is how we really go into the law of attraction. We go into the law of attraction by having process-based belief systems. I'm a healthy person. All right, cool. If you view yourself as a healthy person, what happens when somebody offers you unhealthy food? It contradicts with the belief system, which means consciously, you're going to become a lot more aware of what you are doing. Because what does a healthy person do? A healthy person wouldn't eat that. But if you see yourself as an unhealthy person that's on a diet, and then somebody offers you the chance to break that diet, you're a lot more likely to break that diet. Not because the desire is any different. I now see a Snickers bar and I'm incredibly attracted to the Snickers bar. However, I have conflict. What happens now is I have conflict with my belief system. My belief system sees myself as a healthy person that is in fantastic physical condition. Somebody that is striving to have the best physique possible. And I see myself as somebody that other people look towards for advice when it comes to getting in shape. If I'm all of those people, and that's my belief system, then that Snickers bar, however attractive it is outside of my belief system, which causes conflict, which means that I'm a lot less likely to eat the Snickers bar. This is the law of attraction. The law of attraction is not about attracting things outside of ourselves. It's about changing our belief system about ourselves. Not by making things up, but by having belief systems that are process driven, that are continuous. I'm a healthy person. A healthy person is a healthy person. There's no outcome on that. I just am a healthy person, which means my behaviors will link towards being a healthy person. I'm going to use another example for this. If you are somebody that wants to be a little bit more confident, if you are somebody that wants to go up to somebody and speak to them, maybe you want to go up to and speak to a girl. If you see yourself as somebody that is not confident, then going up and speaking to someone contradicts your belief system. That creates the internal disagreement, which makes it feel weird, which then pertains and links to you not feeling like you have confidence, because you don't, because you're not a confident person. Why would you? I can't stress enough how important action is in this whole process. Action is incredibly important in the law of attraction. I see myself as a healthy person, cool. That first fixes the belief system, but then when we fix the belief system, then we now need to act on that belief system and be in alignment with that belief system. Because when we're in alignment with our belief system for long enough, it fixes and becomes deeper than a belief system, and it becomes a being. So what's some practical things you can start doing to implement the law of attraction into your life? Well, the first thing is the main thing. Be very, very careful how you speak about yourself. There's a great passage in the Bible, as a man thinketh, so is he. So as you think, as you speak, as you are, don't joke about yourself. The body doesn't know the difference. That's the first thing. Be very careful about how you speak about yourself, how you label yourself. When we stop labeling ourselves with negative labels and we start to think a little bit more positively about ourselves, it builds an emotion of gratitude. It builds an emotion of joy and love towards ourselves. And those emotions amplify the belief system. And when the belief system is amplified, that belief system sticks and stays. Belief systems want to stay. So that belief system stays with us and goes from just a behavior change to a new being. As I mentioned, you are now a new being. You operate as a new being. Now, this can sound quite technical. However, the law of attraction has single-handedly changed my life, and it can certainly change yours. It may be something you've already implemented into your life. How you view yourself, how you've got rid of habits. You may remember habits that you had when you was, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe a couple months ago. But you maybe had a habit that you could not break for the life of you. It's just a stronghold. You just couldn't break. But you'll notice that the habits that you don't do anymore, it's not because you don't want to do them anymore. It's because they contradict your belief system. That's why you don't do those habits anymore. If you're of a certain faith and you're doing things against your faith, but you are in the faith, if you're in the faith every day, if you're, for example, as a Christian, if you're reading your Bible every day, if you're in prayer every day, then those habits that contradict the Bible and contradict what you prayed for are going to be very difficult to continue. Why? Because they contradict your belief system. That is the law of attraction. The law of attraction is fixing the belief system towards what we want to manifest, how we want to experience reality, fixing a belief system towards how we want to experience reality. The law of attraction is incredibly powerful. However, most of the time we don't know how to use it. And we get upset when we don't get the results that we thought we'd get. We thought we'd think about the Lamborghini and there'd be one parked outside in a week. And that's not the law of attraction. I hope that helped. And until the next one, I'll see you in a bit.